A listener warning. Please be advised that this episode contains content that may be disturbing to some listeners, including descriptions of violence. Listener discretion is advised.
Life upon the wicked stage ain't ever what a girl supposes.
I'm Jen.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Olivia.
And we are, in fact, three different people.
This podcast focuses on true crime under the spotlight of arts and entertainment. So grab your beverage of choice and settle in.
Places, ladies.
Here's our episode. Yes.
Action.
Here we are.
Welcome to a very special episode.
Happy holidays. Yeah. Great.
Lovely.
Look at me
Lovely.
lighting up this room.
Jen, listeners, Jen is literally lighting up the room, and I'm worried for her because
It's not a good look, Jen. It's not a good look.
The sun keeps finding me.
we know the implications of lighting up a room on this podcast.
We've learned the lesson from many a drama episode, like the true crime episodes and the podcast that we listen to. Never ever light up a room.
Well, and again, we recorded it months ago, but I just listened to it back because it's our most recent episode that we've released, the Dan Wozniak case.
I know.
And poor Julie lighting up a room, and
I know.
So,
And we all knew it too going in. We all knew it.
As soon as we said it, the other two,
Yep.
Olivia and I were like, "Oh no!"
I know because
I think I was like, "This woman must be dead." Like,
Yep.
without knowing anything else.
If
Like,
they ever refer to you that way, you have died. Yeah.
it's like this woman must be deceased because there's no
And
way
then-
you can light up a room like this and
You
live.
survive.
and then we decided that I'm the one that does it. I'm cracking open my Prosecco.
I was going to say, listeners, we are recording this before noon, but it's also, we're all on holiday time. Like we're not, it's a Monday, but none of us are working at this point.
I'm
We're
cracking
all,
open my own protein drink. That's the difference between
Look,
Jen is like making a full ass mimosa in a fancy glass.
mimosa. Because it's before
Mimosa.
noon, so that's how we do
That's
it.
classy.
I didn't
Classy.
even think of that, Jen, but that would have been a brilliant idea. I have white wine because
White wine.
daytime.
Yes.
I also am finishing my Starbucks in a holiday cup.
Love
So-
it.
So we've got balance. We've got stimulant, but also
I
calming.
also have my Ghirardelli white chocolate.
Ooh.
I will be munching on.
Very
Ooh.
nice.
I was like, ooh, I should like put rum in my coffee, but it's
You
not.
should have.
This is the phase of life that I'm in. If I do, I'll just take a nap. That's what happens. It's not going to make
You're
me.
on vacation. You can.
No, but it won't make me funnier or more, loosey.
I don't know about that.
Just makes
And
me
you do have to stay awake for Christmas on a llama farm later. So
Yes. On a llama farm, which Jen discovered. Is that Hallmark or what is that?
Hallmark adjacent.
Of course it is.
I
was
found
only
it
a matter
last
of
night
time.
and saw a picture and sent it to Olivia.
Olivia is also wearing, as we discussed before we
Yes.
hit record, Olivia is wearing a Christmas llama sweater of non-HR approved llamas making out.
They're under the mistletoe.
So they have to.
And I'm pairing that with a Santa hat and my Krampus horns.
Krampus.
Also, is it Maleficent or is it Krampus specifically?
It is Maleficent horns.
Okay.
I
With
could not
purpose.
find them for Halloween. For the Halloween episode, I was really upset.
Sure.
Found them today when I was pulling out my llama sweater, and I was like, "Well, I need to represent the dark side because that's
Yeah. Because you darken every doorway.
Darkening doorways. Well, that is actually kind of a perfect segue, Olivia, because I know
Well
we were
done.
kicking around loosely, like, what do we even do? And if you ladies are amenable, I would love to kick off our very special holiday episode here with a segment I call Christmas Crimes.
Yes.
Sounds
Do it.
horrible. Let's do it.
Sounds perfect.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this specifically with regard to A Christmas Carol. Because I was watching, ironically, I was watching The Muppet Christmas Carol. This was last night. I'm very prepared. And
Yes.
I was thinking about this and I was like, wouldn't it be nice if like, like people in your life, who just like suck in our assholes, wouldn't it be great if you could like, I think this happens, or this is in some recent movie, it might be from Spirited, where they say like, you just got Christmas caroled, bitch.
I just watched it last night. It's my favorite.
So good.
Christmas movie, other than the Santa Claus was my favorite one, but now Spirited has come out, and that is exactly what happens. It's the ghost of Christmas Future. He's like,
yes,
you been Christmas Carol, bitch, and he throws him into the
yes, exactly, yes, Olivia. And I was like, I would love that as a service to be able to like send people like to someone's home and have this basically like this intervention against their will. But then I thought about it. I'm like, well, that's actually a crime. Like, this is a lot of stories we love, holiday. I was like, most of this is actually rooted in crime. It's fairly serious. So I enlisted, I took to the internet this morning and was like, there's actually quite a lot of this. So I have a like by the story breakdown of Christmas classics and the crimes depicted within the film.
My God.
Like looking at them from a Santa's actually breaking and entering type of point of view?
Sort of, yes. Looking at it from a legal standpoint, if we were to practically replicate these activities, would we be protected by the law? And friends, the answer is no.
We need a really good legal team to get out of it. Okay.
Magic of Christmas, okay?
Absolutely. So starting with A Christmas Carol specifically, like if we wanted to Christmas Carol some people, the crimes here, Ebenezer Scrooge's neglect of his clerk, Bob Cratchit's working conditions.
Oh, well, that's a crime. I mean,
namely, like unfair wages, possible indentured servitude, and lack of heating could be seen as labor violations under modern law. It's like, I mean, not
back then though, right? We're talking about modern law.
Modern law, yeah.
Modern laws, yes. And the year of our Lord 2024, could we do this? But specifically supernatural trespass, which I feel is generous.
Wait, what's the law against that?
Wait, yeah. Is there an actual supernatural law trespassing? Like,
so this was where I was like, wait now, because this is assuming ghosts are real. So just supernatural trespass is listed as a crime, but I'm like, if this was just humans, if I was just sending people to some jerk's house and being like, can you please intervene? It would just be trespass.
Right.
Trespass, breaking and entering.
Oh my God.
And then the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future could be accused of breaking and entering and also harassment.
And kidnapping.
And intimidation.
Yeah. Big time.
Kidnapping, right? Because they take him against his will. And
they do. You're right.
They sure do.
To the past and the present and the future. I mean, like, they drew through time.
Yeah, and like the harassment and intimidation, and we'll talk about this later because I have a whole other segment I would love to unpack. But
I can't wait.
In certain versions, and in the original version of the Christmas Carol, the final scene, the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Be, it's not him falling into the grave; it's him falling into the grave and going to hell.
Yeah, he goes to hell.
He like fully to hell, like to Christian evangelical hell.
Yeah,
so I was like, to put someone through a simulated like hellfire experience, like, my God, just going for it. So that's a Christmas Carol. We have, I love that the Nutcracker made this list.
What? How dare you? Okay.
The Nutcracker made this list.
This is a joyous, sacred memory of my childhood. I was in the Nutcracker for 6 years. And I have a collection of them.
Well,
that I get out every year. What are you ruining for me? Go ahead.
Okay, here's the crime in the Nutcracker. The Mouse King's invasion of the Stahlbaum household could be viewed as a form of home invasion and or trespassing. Also property damage.
There's a lot of trespassing at Christmas time.
A lot of trespassing.
Yeah,
what's Christmas?
Like all Christmas traditions are based in trespassing, I feel.
Santa himself breaks into your home.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
Olivia, I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you. We've got How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The Grinch obviously commits burglary, larceny, and potentially animal cruelty based on his treatment of Max.
I always feel bad for Max.
Me too.
The antlers on him and makes him pull that sleigh. I'm like,
yes.
Unless he is a working dog that loves that kind of work.
Wait, you're saying he is one?
Unless he's a working dog, like a husky that like loves, and he's not a husky.
No, he's not. He's like a little dog.
He's a mutt.
A little, he's, and also like the look on his face
He
tells
doesn't
us
like
he's
it.
not consenting to
He's
the-
not consenting. I'm
I'd like
not.
to question that. How do we know working dogs actually like it? Like, what if huskies are like,
I don't know.
this
Olivia,
sucks?
you're opening a can of worms, Olivia.
Okay, let's do another episode. But what if the working dogs are like, screw you guys. We want to also lay on a couch.
Yeah, maybe they're just running faster. It's not from joy. It's just because they, like me, when I run, I just want to get it over with. So I run faster. It's not because I like it. Just get me out of here.
My life depended on me running. Goodbye. Because it's not going to happen.
Well, speaking of running, our next one is Home Alone.
That's a movie about a crime. So
Laden with crime. But obviously, the wet bandits commit multiple counts of burglary and vandalism. Kevin McAllister, while acting in self-defense, creates dangerous traps that could be considered insult or endangerment under the law.
And actually, those burglars could probably sue him.
Yeah, they could.
There's a thing that's happened before. People trespassing in someone's house and they get like mortally injured. They sue the owner of the home.
Well, I read an article and I forget where it was. Well, I'll have to try to find it years ago. But it was something where I think it was like medical professionals or like people weighed in on the injuries in Home Alone, like not through the slapstick angle of the movie, but like if this actually happened to, I think they included Home Alone 2, Lost in New York in this equation as well. But they said if these things really happened, like what would it take for them actually to be incapacitated and or killed based on the injuries?
They'd be dead in like the first 10 minutes.
I know.
Yes. Like these are serious. Like some of them are very funny, or it's funny visually, but in practicality, it's like, no, this would be truly horrific. So
is there some deeper metaphor? Are they actually like some kind of spiritual entities that cannot die? Are they like Krampuses?
It's a Michael Myers situation where they go into the house and it's like
they keep getting up. They from a building.
Do you know?
And they're like, let's get him. Yeah.
They didn't know they're in a horror movie all along.
Did you know what else is a crime in Home Alone? That we're all older than Kevin's mom now.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Why would you bring that up?
I'm just saying.
Catherine O'Hara was 36 when she found that. I do know that.
You ruined an actor and now this.
I know. I also believe she is the one that bought that house because she wears pantsuits. Let's be real. She's the breadwinner in that.
I saw that. It was like, you think a stay-at-home mom
right?
would be rocking all these power
These
blazers?
pantsuits? Come on. She's the one that paid for that trip.
She probably did. We don't know her job. Like it's not clear. They don't say one way or the other what she does or doesn't do. Yeah,
she's wearing pantsuits.
I love it. This brings us then, of course, to Die Hard. A group of terrorists take hostages and attempt to steal $640 million in bearer bonds. That's more than $500 million, friends. But John McClane's vigilante tactics could also raise questions about use of force laws.
He's a cop.
Just like you in Christmas Carol, bitch. Another great quote from that. Yippee-ki-yay,
yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
So good. I think I've mentioned this before, but I do own, and listeners, if you want to purchase your own, this is available on Amazon. The Night Before Christmas, Die Hard. So it is the story of Die Hard, but told in the cadence and rhyme scheme of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Wow.
It's everything. It's everything you want it to be, and it is not for children, but it's fully illustrated.
I'll have to get that. I bought Jason the Advent calendar with Hans falling down the tower.
That's so good.
I own it. Yes.
So do we all agree it is a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
Yes. Die Hard. I don't care what Bruce Willis says. Die Hard is a Christmas film.
Yeah.
Ashley, I know you said you're filming from the ghetto area. I just had like a helicopter go super low over my house. So
in Winnapock?
In the Winnapock area as well.
Maybe Santa's coming early.
Oh my God.
Coming early.
Christmas is coming to town.
It's getting warm in my Santa hat.
Oh.
Yeah, I turned my fan on because I was like, "So welcome to Christmas in Florida." It's too hot. I'm wearing shorts with my sweater.
I know.
I elected the weather is right on the edge.
It is.
I have like a holiday sweater that I have yet to wear this season.
Right.
And I almost wore it today, but then I looked at the weather and I was like, I might be out for longer because I have some errands to do after this.
Yep.
So I opted for just like a layered like tank with lace and just like a
flannel.
Faux flannel. Yeah.
Faux flannel.
A festive plaid. Anyway, It's a Wonderful Life. Mr. Potter's theft of Uncle Billy's $8,000 could be considered embezzlement or grand larceny.
The worst.
And then, of course, we have, but you know, on the other side of the coin, we've got potential fraud because George Bailey's desperate plea to save his company could be interpreted as financial irregularity under scrutiny.
Yeah.
What about when Mr. Gower almost kills the town with poisoning them in pharmacy?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And young George Bailey saves everyone.
Saves the day.
Mistake, but no one tells anyone. That man should be put out of business if he
should no longer be the pharmacist, at least.
At the very least, maybe time for Mr. Gower to retire because that does feel...
Maybe.
It was like an almost crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I not that, Olivia. I agree. It's like time to take Grandpa's keys. Like it's time. Yeah. So sorry. We love you. We know you mean well, but also you're a danger to yourself and others.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with your car. It stopped working.
But also, can we talk that perhaps just going back to the whole, trespass and kidnap situation that seems to come up in all these movies. Clarence.
Oh yeah.
Also kind of puts him into a hallucination and basically kidnaps him to take him to the past, present, and future. And he doesn't want to go with him. So that's another coerced situation.
True.
Without the plot device of kidnapping, a lot of Christmas films simply do not work.
It's true. It's really, really true.
A lot of trespass, a lot of kidnapping. This seems to be a hallmark of our holiday. I don't know what this says about us as a society that we enjoy these tales, but...
Two things that I've noticed in that movie I have to bring up since we're kind of analyzing a little bit.
Yeah.
One, have you ever noticed that the cop and the taxi driver who were like his buddies and that their names are Bert and
Ernie? Yeah, Bert and Ernie.
Okay, that was one thing. And then the other thing, can we just pause for a second? Donna Reed, who plays
Mary, the wife.
Are we saying that if George Bailey and she didn't get together, she ends up an old maid?
I know, right? Come on.
You're telling me she had one option and without him,
George Bailey was it. Yeah.
Turns into this weak, scared of everything creature that lives in her mother's boarding house or whatever the situation.
And becomes a librarian, and that's all.
I will yes and you, Olivia, because I agree, because it's also like not only does she never get married, oh no, 1940s, but she has like a personality shift. It's like,
right?
Did you hit your head as part of this? I don't understand, because she is not this like little like weak like please save me, George Bailey. That's not what's happening.
That's not who she is. Yeah,
she's a sharp, sassy dame back in high school.
Yeah.
Buffalo Gals, won't you come out tonight? I mean,
exactly.
Why are we suddenly like, no, I don't know, you don't touch me? Like, come on.
Yeah.
What?
I agree, Olivia. This is completely implausible, and this feels like, again, a scare tactic from another generation.
Yeah.
If you're not wed, what will you even become?
What will you become?
A librarian. A spinster librarian. How dare you learn? And
how dare you read books in your free time?
This also takes us back to, again, the Music Man plot device. They're like, marrying the librarian, how tragic.
How tragic.
Like, why is
lonely and learned? How tragic.
Yeah. We equate unmarried.
Adding that to the merch list.
Yeah, lonely and learned.
Lonely and learned. The golden baby list. Lonely and learned.
Lonely and learned.
Yeah, what is a librarian a parallel path with single, unwed, lonely, clearly discarded by society? I'll go run a library where holds all the knowledge of the world.
I know.
And gives you access to wisdom and history.
Maybe that's why she didn't get married. Just saying.
She knew too much.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why she's scared of men in the second version.
Because she'd choose the bear. That's why.
She'd choose the bear. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Every damn time, choose the bear.
She's like, I've done some research. And
Yeah.
Well, this brings us now to Elf, in which Buddy, as much as we love him, does trespass into Gimbals, vandalizes the whole toy department, and consumes unauthorized goods throughout.
Yeah, sure.
Also, he sneaks into the bathroom while she's showering.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah. Yep.
This list.
They also, I was surprised this didn't make the list as I was Googling, but Emily, Walter Hobbs, his dad's wife, not Buddy's mother, but his dad's wife, there's the scene about where he and his half-brother bring home the Christmas tree, and they're like, we chopped it down in the park. And Walter's like, that's a felony. And she's like, I'll get him to plant another one. Like, it's all going to be fine. I was like, is chopping down a tree in Central Park a felony?
I think it is.
A little bit? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They mentioned
it's
that.
It's like if you hurt the swans at Lake Eola.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah,
Which,
sure.
Never mind. I was about to go on a tangent about RFK Jr. leaving a dead bear in Central Park, but never mind. We're not going
to. That'll take us. We don't have to time either.
Time and he doesn't deserve any more bandwidth, frankly.
Also, could Buddy be charged with child abuse because he pelts that kid in the back with the snowball and knocks him unconscious?
I feel that's maybe, I don't know if child abuse, that feels like a reach, and it's maybe, it's if there was a rock in the snowball, maybe, but I'm like, it's a snowball. Like that kid, also that kid had it coming. Let's
he totally had it coming.
That kid sucked. So.
That kid sucked.
We're getting close here. We only have.
No, I love it.
I like it. We're like turning all these stories on their head.
It's great.
It's very Krampusy.
Yeah, going back to some of our main themes here, but the Polar Express, the midnight train journey with children on board could be considered unauthorized transportation of minors or kidnapping without parental consent.
Also, it's just a bunch of grown men on the train with the children.
Yeah, it is.
Are you worried about that?
Well, I mean, they are all Tom Hanks in the movie version, so I wouldn't be afraid, but yes.
Tom Hanks of it all.
But in the book, it's not all Tom Hanks, so in that case, I'd be nervous.
We've got the Santa Claus with, of course, again, kidnapping and custodial interference as the non-custodial parent, because remember...
right.
Yeah, he's telling his son...
Kidnaps.
That he's Santa Claus, and his son believes in him, but the ex-wife and the husband don't.
Right.
And so I'll say it's like a soft kidnapping, because at this point we know he's Santa. The audience knows he's Santa. His son is like, I want to go with you. Goes like willingly. This is not traumatic. However, it's extremely traumatic for Mom and Neil, Judge Reinhold, a treasure, to have their son kidnapped after the judges ruled like, no, you've lost custody.
By this man who they think is crazy because he thinks he's Santa Claus.
Absolutely. So again, through 2024 eyes or through a different lens, deeply upsetting film, but again, just a beautiful story.
Also, what about child labor laws? Because in the North Pole, no one is over the age of like 10, except Bernard.
Well,
although they are hundreds of years old.
They're elves.
Maybe that's...
Yes, Olivia. And I love that depiction. That's my favorite depiction of the North Pole, because I love the idea of these childlike characters who are actually like 987, but they look like kids, but then they get to deliver these very like sassy adult lines, which is everything.
When the little Judy elf goes, thanks, but I'm seeing someone in gift wrapping. It's so cute.
And he says, well, you look very good for your age.
Yeah.
Again, maybe 2024 eyeballs, maybe we wouldn't make the movie the same way today, but my God, it was
so good.
Yeah. And then finally, we've got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the 1964 Rankin Bass. The crimes, the exclusion and bullying of Rudolph by Santa and other reindeer could be seen as workplace discrimination and or harassment.
Yeah.
Now, question
She thinks I'm cute.
Okay, that was adorable.
That was great.
She thinks I'm cute. It's my favorite.
Rudolph, okay, Ashley, in order to be charged with workplace discrimination, you have to be harassing someone who is of a protected class. And I don't know that having a red nose makes you of a protected class.
Does it being a reindeer make you of a protected class?
But he's being othered. It's like
I'm just saying the law is the law, Ashley. I don't know if...
Is it different in the North Pole?
Would we classify this as a disability? Like, I don't know. Because we don't know that the nose does anything until that one foggy Christmas Eve. Like, it's just weird. It's not seen as a benefit until this very specific situation.
And it makes a horrendous noise when it lights up. My God.
It's like a whistle.
Yeah. It's a dog whistle. So maybe it can be seen as a disability, and then he's being harassed for his
disability.
His difference. But then his difference turns out to be a benefit. So who's laughing now, Santa?
Exactly.
You take your reindeer games and shove them.
And last but not least, we have the iconic, is it a Christmas movie or not? Again, hard to say, but The Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington's takeover of Christmas could be considered identity theft, trespassing, and illegal operation of a sleigh. I love that.
He is not licensed to drive that sleigh.
Only Santa can drive the sleigh.
Isn't it always like illegal operation of a sleigh? Because aren't sleighs supposed to be like on the ground in snow and shouldn't be in the air? I'm just saying. I mean...
Wait, so does that mean every Christmas movie...
That's what I'm saying.
Flying is it invasion of U.S. airspace?
That's what I'm saying. Like every Christmas Eve, Santa's like breaking the law.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm sure the Air Force though has to deal with him because that NOAA, the national whatever thing called NOAA, they always track him every year.
Him.
They're aware.
So
they know
they
what's up.
ensure his safe passage. So
yes.
Yeah, but could you imagine, like in real time, if there was a Jack Skellington situation or the Santa Claus Tim Allen situation where they're like, "What's up this year?" And like they're like, "Should we send someone to check?" Like it seems weird. Like
what's going on? Yeah,
this seems oddly chaotic. Like it's like crashing into buildings.
Normally we're fine. What's going on? Yeah, why is he crashing this year?
So that.
Too much eggnog.
This was super fun.
Yeah, that concludes my list of Christmas crimes.
Oh, I love it.
More. Listeners, if there's something we left out, please slide into our DMs or let us know.
Is there a Christmas story that doesn't involve
a crime?
Trespass, just even
in general.
But just in general, trespassing.
A Christmas story, Olivia, Red Ryder BB gun does not include kidnap or trespassing.
That's true.
Wow. You're
Ralphie.
right.
Bullying, but that's
some
bullying, but also the second one. Have you guys seen the second one that came out? Was it last year or the year before? It's so sweet.
No,
I saw it. I saw it last year, yeah.
They do beautiful justice to the whole story.
They do. I agree.
I love when that happens. That's how I felt about again, different, but the Mary Poppins Returns.
Me too. Yes. I was like, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
When you pay homage to something. I felt like they did that with the new Ghostbusters as well. The ones with Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
With Paul Rudd, yeah.
Honestly, with the female Ghostbusters as well. I was like...
I'm sorry. I'm a traitor to my gender. I hated
I loved it. Well, get out of here. You're off this podcast. Get out of here.
I'm sorry. I was like, what the hell is happening?
I liked it.
Awful.
I feel that again, not Christmas at all. We're on a tangent here, but that Beetlejuice also did a great job.
I did too. I loved it.
Here's what I loved, and then now we've I
had a great time.
It's hard. It's very hard to do a good sequel.
Yeah.
I think most remakes should be illegal. It's like, just do your own thing. Like, don't try to make this again or make this better. It's great the way it is. Either do your own version of it and own that, or stop.
And I think the reason that those work is because they waited. They waited until the people that were old enough to make the sequel, that saw them when they were kids, made the sequel. And so the love of it,
and understood what was good about it.
They wrote it, they made it, and then the people that watched it as kids went to go see it. So it's like they all appreciated it. I think that's
like a weird
why.
cash grab. Yeah.
Except for Ghostbusters, the female version. I'm sorry, Jen. This is our first fight. After all these years, this is our first fight.
This is one of those things where we can agree to disagree. It's fine. I still respect you as a human.
Olivia's hot takes.
Did you hear how she said it's fine?
It's fine. It's fine.
Basically, she just told me you're wrong, but it's fine.
It's fine. This is an occasion where we can have differing beliefs, and it's fine. We can agree to disagree. It's not going to hurt anybody. And have a civil discourse.
We've just never disagreed on anything before.
I don't think so either.
How to process this?
That's all right. It's Christmas, so we'll allow it.
I'm glad I'm here to moderate this fight.
Ashley, will you tell Jen that she's wrong in her opinion of Ghostbusters, the female version? Tell her I said that.
But Jen, I mean, come on, Melissa McCarthy, like she's so great.
I love all the women. They had the right cast. It just I thought it was done wrong.
Now
the bones were good.
I'm not saying that I enjoyed it as much as the new ones with Paul Rudd. Those were better. 100%. But I appreciate that like everybody made a cameo. And it was fun.
Ashley, tell Jen.
Okay. All right. Christmas.
Okay. Christmas. We've gotten back toward the dark side already.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
The dark side, though, this was mentioned on our text thread, so I want to bring it up and lob the ball over to y'all because, interestingly, I have never been in any sort of Christmas stage production. I have been in...
Really?
No, I have never been in a Christmas Carol. I have done shows that happened in like the Christmas time slot, i.e. Mary Poppins 2.0 that Olivia and I were in together was in that theater's Christmas show, like December dates. There was a tree in the lobby and everything, but that is not a Christmas show.
Right, Christmas adjacent. Yeah.
I have never been in anything, unless you count like a church nativity situation or like a Christmas concert, which I don't. I'm talking about like theater,
right?
Like capital T theater. I have not, but I know you both have. So I would love to hear this rundown of like Christmas productions that you have been in, be they great or cursed.
But first, you mentioned Christmas nativity, and I have to share because this is going to floor.
Go ahead,
listeners. I did go to church when I was little,
the heathen that she is. Who knew?
And was in the we had living nativity. It was actually really cute. It was outside the church. This was for those that live here, Central Christian Church, which is right off Lake Ivanhoe. It's still there. And there's the parking lot, like this, when you pull in, you can drive around the church in like a 180 thing.
Oh, I know where that is. Okay.
Yeah. It's right off. You can see it from I-4 off the Lake Ivanhoe exit. So
theater people, CFC Arts had their headquarters there for a couple of years. If you've ever been to the CFC Arts HQ, this is this church.
That's right. That's where it used to be. And then so that we would do a living nativity, and there was also a Easter. Yes, there was an Easter one, and it was like a drive-through.
A crucifixion drive-through?
Yes.
There he is. Good luck up there, man.
We did.
Did you go on Good Friday? Like on Good Friday, did you see him like crucified? And then on Sunday he wasn't there.
No. There was a man hanging out on the cross for 3 days.
And then like, he's risen.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah. This was like the stages of Easter weekend. So there was the Good Friday.
Sure.
The stations of the cross.
Oh my God.
And then there was the crucifixion. And then there was the empty tomb.
Right. The Marys were there.
Like, thought of it. It was a crucifixion drive-through. We did not offer waffle fries, so it wasn't.
Damn it! Now that would have made it for me.
I'm sorry. A crucifixion drive-through, independent of context, is the funniest thing I've heard this year.
And we're almost at the end, so that was really good.
listeners, I'm crying. I'm
She really is.
Tears.
Tears
crying.
streaming down her face.
Okay, so Olivia, I said that as a joke, but apparently this was a real thing.
But it was real.
So the nativity, I feel probably paled in comparison to the drama of the crucifixion drive-through. Like, my God.
You're right.
It was G-rated.
Right, what even was there? They're like, here's some sheep, here's the baby, get out of here.
Yeah,
Like,
get out of here.
Yes, we did.
No
we had
room for you.
So the nativity, yes, it was a nativity drive-through, much less dramatic than the Easter one. Clearly, I never thought about how weird that was. Well, right now, so yeah, all right. I was in the crucifixion. I mean, no, I wasn't. I was in the nativity drive-through.
She was not hanging on the cross.
I was there.
Nativity.
And let me tell you, it was not a fun time. We had donkeys and sheep, and let's see, donkeys, sheep, and I think there was a cow.
Oh, yes.
There might have been a camel.
I was going to say, was there a camel?
There might have been a camel. Somebody had some farm, I guess, and brought the animals.
Camels, they kick and they spit. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Donkeys as well. So you can't. No, there was a thing like don't stand behind the donkey because.
And donkeys aim. Horses just like kick.
Ooh.
Farm girl here. Horses just kick. Donkeys aim.
Interesting. I did not know this.
That's why if you have cows and you need to keep coyotes away, you put donkeys back there because they will aim at the coyotes.
Oh,
kick them. Little tip.
Today years old.
Yep.
Little
tip. That's why they're called jackasses. They'll aim at something and kick. Horses just kick.
Wait, that's why they're called jackasses?
No, but I think that's why we use the term jackass in a derogatory way.
Sure, yeah. I love
this. Wow.
There you go.
Intentional. Yeah.
It's intentional. Yeah.
Got it.
I love this. So Olivia, what was your role in the nativity?
Well, one time I was an angel, and you could come in and change. They would have little. There was like little. It was like a little. What do you call those things? Tableau. It was tableau.
Yeah,
a tableau.
Out the little drive-through.
Ashley and I are doing it for you, listeners. If you're watching this, you see it, but if you're not. Tableau.
I was an angel with did the prayer, and you would like be looking and hold it. And yep, absolutely. I was an angel. I think you could be everything. Like, I think I might have, I don't know if I was Mary. I probably wasn't old enough.
A rotating cast.
Yeah. And you would come in and like change our robes, like switch it up so we didn't get bored or whatever. And
well, of course.
So were you also, anybody else here in a living nativity?
I was never in a living nativity, but my first
you were
role
in a dead nativity?
ever. Yeah, I was in a dead nativity.
An undead nativity.
It's very morbid up in those Appalachian mountains.
An undead nativity. It's like zombie nativity.
Somebody do this.
This time.
A dark twist.
That'll be ours.
Jen, I also was never in a living nativity. I was in I was in just like a one time. It was like the Sunday before Christmas at church kind of thing. It was like the children's choir is going to stand up in nativity tableau and we're going to sing like O Little Town of Bethlehem or like something like that. I was in like probably one or two of those, but that wasn't it wasn't very rehearsed. It was like show up on the day and like parents somehow like just whipped out like shepherd and angel costumes, whatever. I don't know where it was that kind of thing. It was not elaborate. It was not, there was no staging. There was no direction. It was very chaotic. Yeah. But I was in, I remember I was in, it's funny but not funny, and I won't say names or the name of the church in case any of these people are listening. But I do remember.
I think that if we had any Christians listening, they might have tuned out when we talked about the crucifixion drive-through. I'm just saying.
We scared them off. I was in a church. My family went to a church when I was in high school, and they really did have the guy who was the music director there. Was truly a very talented man. He was an excellent like choir director, an excellent music director. And at this point he was older and like his whole job was just like the church music director, and he played the grand piano every Sunday, but he like was the choir leader. I would love to go back in time and find out like what he had done in his younger life, because I feel like he really could have worked like at a really, really high level as a music director or a conductor. I don't know that he ever did. And if he didn't, that is really a shame, because this man was truly talented. But he put together a big, they called it the Christmas cantata every year. And it was the adult choir. But if you were in high school, you could join the adult choir only for the Christmas cantata. So I joined the choir because I like to sing, shocking. And it was really good. Like, it was very like well produced, and they brought in people to play the instruments. So I was singing as a choir member. They're like, wear a red shirt and just show up. And it was like 2 nights. But there was a scene in which there was a living nativity scene as part of the show, and I think it was like near the end, and it was different every year based on like the songs and the material they chose, but this year it was like the through line was like the Christmas like Bethlehem experience story. So they had cast these 2 people to play Mary and Joseph, and I don't think they had any lines. I think they just had to appear in tableau in various sections, like, you know, as we sang various songs.
Yes.
Not the whole show, but peppered throughout. And they cast this other high school couple who was the pastor's son, like the associate pastor's son, and his girlfriend. And they were like, you know, my age, so they're like 17.
Oh no.
And like, you know, someone who had a fresh baby, like from the church, was like, you know, loaned the baby out. So like they're holding like a real baby. Yeah, it's like holding the fresh baby.
Oh my God.
And I don't remember what happened or why, but they got into some sort of huge fight.
I knew it.
Broke up.
I knew it.
Day before the cantata.
Oh my
Drama.
So everyone involved in the cantata like knows this. This is like the drama, and like, so imagine like the most like dramatic church teenagers just like fighting, but they're Mary and Joseph and holding the baby, and they're just like so bad. It was the most uncomfortable thing. It's like, you know, you're in love, you're like the Christ family, like holding Jesus, and they're like, I hate you more.
Like, you know what though?
Baby.
Let's be real though. That's probably what really happened, because Joseph was probably pretty pissed.
Well, he was. That's why the angel had to come to him and say, dude,
calm
down.
Okay,
This
calm
is
down.
really
It's God's baby,
Like,
right?
yeah,
Like, he's pissed. I'm
This
just
is not
saying.
about you.
Not about you, Joseph.
Oh
But
my God.
I just remember that, and
That's funny.
It's a core memory, but just like, you know, we're singing, you know, how great our joy, you know, or whatever, and you know, the Hallelujah chorus, and just looking over them, and they're just like seething like by the manger. It was excellent. 10 out of 10. Like,
10 out of 10 recommend. Boyfriend and girlfriend play Joseph and Mary, break up.
break out seething.
That's good.
Yeah, that was my one.
When I was little, we used to do like Christmas plays at church, but when I started to get a little older, there weren't as many kids. Small town, you know, they grow up, nobody comes back in. But my first play ever was actually at church at Christmas time, and it was The Littlest Star. And I was the littlest star who becomes the Star of Bethlehem.
That is
course
so
you
cute.
were, because you were lighting up a room, Jen.
I was lighting up a room. I was lighting up the night sky, even. Leading everyone to the Christ child.
I love this.
And we made it was like, I dressed all in white, and we had to make like my little Bethlehem star out of, you know, poster board and put glitter all over it.
Sure.
And my head was in it.
How old were you?
I don't know, probably like 5, 4 or 5.
You
So I already knew I wanted to be an actor. So like, it was my big moment, you know. Memorized all my like 5 lines.
I went to Christian school as a kid.
You did? I think I
tried
did
with
that.
me, and it just didn't work. No, it was just because I mentioned we grew up in a not great area, so we were not zoned for good schools.
Yeah, schools.
So my sister and I, we went to Christian school for a while, and we lived a life of duplicity because we were raised very spiritual, but then we would go to school. It was a Southern Baptist school, and we would come home and be like, Mama, and she'd be like, just ignore them. That's what we believe. But I was in little Christmas plays when I was in like 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, little Christmas plays, and it was super cute and fun.
Southern Baptist, for those of you listening who don't understand the ramifications of what that means, I would say it is one of the more aggressive forms of evangelical Christianity. Very extreme, potentially, depending on which location you're going to. But as a brand, Southern Baptist is kind of awooga noises for church. For me, it's a lot. Like as someone who grew up going to church. I never went to a Southern Baptist church, but I was familiar and had friends who did. I was like, this feels like a lot. Like
they told us that we should not be watching the Smurfs. Because they were evil and they were blue devils.
The Smurfs?
Pause for effect.
Wow.
You're not supposed to watch the Smurfs. And they didn't like that we were dancers, my sister and I.
Oh, yes.
This is
because dancing is for the devil. Yeah.
Yes, and
it's going to lead to sexy time.
Yes, it was sexy. It was too sexual.
God knows we can't have that. Yeah.
Meanwhile, here I am in the Nutcracker for most of my life.
Well, because we all know how sexual and devious the Nutcracker ballet is. I mean, my God, just
other than the Arabian dance, that gets pretty sexy. But other than that,
does it, Olivia?
Does it?
I thought it did. That music.
All I can think about, Olivia, now that you say that, I am thinking of, it's not Christmas, but they use the music from the Nutcracker in the original Disney's Fantasia.
Yeah.
That music, they have that one goldfish.
Oh, yeah.
She's like given like a sexy side.
And it's the Arabian, isn't it?
It is. It's the Arabian. It's Arabian music. And now that you say that, it's if a goldfish could do a striptease, that's what's happening.
Oh my God. All right. Let's bring it back to Christmas Carol stories.
Christmas Carol. Somebody on the group thread, again, we were talking about Christmas Carol specifically. Which of you or both of you have been in Christmas carols or involved in Christmas carols? Because again, I've missed out on this. I have yet to be part of a Christmas carol, and frankly, I'm outraged.
Both of us, right?
Yeah. So I've been in a very bizarre dark version twice. In the same version. Both happened at the Garden Theater.
Say more about this. Why was it bizarre and dark?
Okay. So
she has devil horns on her head.
Yes, right. The first time I was in it was with Dennis Neal. He was Scrooge.
That's the one I costumed.
Yes, you were the costumer, and what was the lovely Swan? Isn't his last name Swan? Was Marley in that one?
It was God, keep going. I'm gonna think of it. Yes, I know what you mean. I just saw him the other day too. He saw the movie.
So that one I played
Joe Swanberg.
Joe Swanberg. Thank you.
Yep.
So I played Martha Cratchit. I played one of the nieces in the Fezziwig dance, and Felicia Siobhan was in it with me.
She was Belle.
We met. That's right. She was Belle.
She was a lovely Belle.
Yes.
What year was this? What year are we talking about?
2000. God, 10.
I was gonna say 9 or 10.
Maybe 9.
This would have been also before the Garden was really a producing theater. This was
right. This was a Beth Marshall production.
This was a Beth Marshall production.
There
probably
you go.
2009.
Have production need stage. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was so why was it dark? Okay.
Well, you said it was a Beth Marshall production, so that.
Yes. It's kind of like it goes more into the ghosts, and it gives them. Not a backstory, but like the people that become the ghosts appear in the first part of the play.
Yeah.
Is
this characters.
An original script as well?
Yeah, the script is darker in general.
Right. And the way he gets haunted is very disturbing.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a doll maker who he's really mean to, and the doll maker becomes the ghost of Christmas present and stuff like that. Or whatever.
Interesting.
So I did it then.
It was the Ghost of Christmas Past, and the only reason I know that is because I had to make the costume of the doll, make it look exactly like the costume of the ghost.
Well, that's right, because then the ghost appears as the doll. That's right. Yes.
And that one had to be perfect because it was someone's ward.
Ooh.
Awooga.
Wait, I got it. I have it ready.
There it is. Yeah, that was good.
It's fortuitous. I'm wearing my
Awooga bracelet.
Oh, I meant to put my.
I know, me too. I forgot them. They're in the bathroom. I was running around.
We're working on our merch, but we do now have slide into our DMs if you would like to purchase this, where you have to figure out pricing and shipping. But we do have Awooga bracelets.
That's right.
Taylor Swift style. They're black and gold.
They're
tasteful.
great.
Yeah. So then, fast forward 10 years later, and I was at the Garden Theater under the. This was Joe Walsh's first production. He wasn't really. He inherited the season. He didn't pick this show, but this was right after Rob Anderson and Joe Walsh's first show there. In the Garden, it was so funny because the board was like, we're doing a dark Christmas Carol. It's the first time it's ever been produced at this theater. They cast me, and I'm like reading the script, and I'm like, I did this show. So
feels familiar.
I was like, you know, this show was done 10 years ago. And they were like, what? Oh my God. We were already well into rehearsal at this point. So I was like, yeah, you guys can't say this is the first time. This was literally done 10 years ago.
At the same theater.
At the same theater. Yeah.
At the same theater.
Yeah.
This time, Scrooge was Bobby Bell.
Oh, that's right.
And directed by Jeremy Sagers. And I played Mrs. Cratchit. I had aged up. So Mrs. Cratchit and was married to the
That was Lima. That was when Stephen Lima was in it, right?
And Joe Lawrence. Okay, if you can imagine me, Stephen Lima, and Joe Lawrence in a show, this shenanigans.
I love it.
We got up to in the wing, like off stage in the wings. It was ridiculous, but it was, and we made it even. We made it even weirder because we added these like ghost dances where we wore like masks, and we were supposed to be kind of like the spirits of whatever, like dancing around. And
it's giving the Albert Finney. We're going to get into this in a minute, but Albert Finney and Scrooge.
Yeah,
not Scrooge. Scrooge,
right.
Where Jacob Marley takes him and like sings a song, and they're like flying through the night sky, and all the other ghosts who are like in purgatory with chains are all flying around, and it's very stylized. Like I'm thinking that, Olivia, is that
might be exactly where perhaps that's where the concept
where it came from.
Yes, that was that. But yeah, so I've done it twice, but I've never done the real Christmas Carol.
Oh.
I've only done the dark, weird.
That's funny.
But frankly, that sounds, and I don't know, maybe it's just, me. I'm over here like, hello, darkness, my old friend.
No, I like it too.
That sounds fun. Like it
was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun to be in. I'm not sure. I got mixed reviews from our audience friends, friends that came to see it. Some were like, that was so cool and different, and I liked it. And some were like, what?
What was that?
Did it end happily, or did it end as like this was a cautionary tale?
Not only does it end happily, it insinuates that Scrooge and his maid are hooking up.
Yeah. It was weird.
It's
I didn't
weird.
have that on the bingo card.
Yeah, it's a little.
There's a little harassment-ish, like, ooh, Mr. Scrooge, ooh, Mrs. blah blah, and I think he like kind of chases her off stage. It's a little bit weird.
It's a little odd.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has the happy ending.
Okay.
With a happy ending.
It's like Christmas Carol, PG-13.
Yeah. Yes.
Jen, what was your Christmas Carol? Obviously, you costumed.
So I costumed that one, and I have to say, Olivia, I remember so very little of that.
Yeah. You know what, Jen? I have to just pause for a second. I just remembered who costumed the second one.
Tell me.
AJ.
Oh.
You just have to take a moment. AJ costumed the second one. AJ Garcia.
He was great.
Oh my God, wonderful. And it was
Truly.
so fun to work with him on that.
Well, and like again, the just a sidebar here, a
Yeah.
truly talented but also just giving and funny
Yes,
and just
funny.
kind.
Yes.
Like, always
Made
willing
you
to
feel
go.
good in what you were wearing. Like
Yes.
always made sure you felt
Always.
comfortable. And listeners, if you're
Yeah.
from out of the area, AJ Garcia passed away very
2020.
unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Very.
Not related to COVID.
Yeah.
No, but it was what is it, 3? Has it been 4 years?
It
Four
was
years, I
during
think.
2020.
4 years.
During 2020,
his,
yeah.
His funeral was
Yeah, that's right.
via Zoom, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he still missed very much.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
But yeah, I remember the one thing I remember other than having that one costume that had to be perfect was I remember having to like cut your Martha Cratchit costume because it was too long. And I had so many costumes that I had to do. And it was just me. And I mean, like, there were so many costumes. And I remember just like cutting the bottom of your costume. Like I didn't have time to hem it. And I was just like, go. And I just remember cutting it.
Oh my God.
That's so funny. I don't remember that.
And
That does happen to me a lot.
And I have so few memories of that, and I know it's because of trauma.
Trauma response. Yeah.
Yes, and my brain is protecting me.
Yep. No, for sure. Jen, not to bring up
No, it's fine.
per se, but
No, it's fine.
Are you? I don't think I knew this about you until this conversation.
Yeah.
That you have costumed anything because
Yeah.
I didn't know you knew how to sew.
I do.
I'm also an accidental / reluctant costumer. I was talking to somebody about this. I have inadvertently costumed like 7 shows or something crazy.
Yeah.
And it's one of those like it was not the job I signed up for,
Yep.
but it was a job that I ended up doing because either people was like the costumer like stopped showing up.
Oh,
or
no.
The costumer lied about the fact that like they knew how to sew anything and like people like don't have anything to wear. Just unhinged situations have led me like I knew how to sew.
No.
This is a tangent, but my mom
okay.
taught me how to sew like very basic. Growing up, and I knew how to do it, and I had made a lot of stuff like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But I am now I will say like moderately advanced sewer, like I've now worked with like leather and done things where I'm like needles and thread weights and the whole, it's a lot. And I didn't want any of it, but I now have this skill. And I also have, listeners, I have a rather robust costume archive, but mostly of very highly specific things that I have had to make and then therefore ended up owning.
That's interesting.
So Jen, I also did not know this about you, that you are sort of an accidental.
I'm an accidental.
Asterisk. She also costumes. Like I didn't know this about you.
Yes, and I liked it for a while. My grandmother taught me how to sew, but then I got pigeonholed into it because the person I was with told me I wasn't talented enough as an actor to do shows, so I had to costume for him.
Oh my God! Really?
So.
I didn't know that was part of it. Ew.
Oh yeah. And told everybody else the same thing.
Okay. Retroactively. Ew. Yeah. No. I hate that. I hate that more than people lying about being a costumer. And wow.
Yeah. If you ever, there's a certain Victorian troupe that goes around Central Florida.
During the fall season.
In the fall season still, those original costumes were all mine. I made them all myself.
Yes, she did.
Gorgeous.
I did know that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you
and
had
the puppets. I made a lot of the puppets and the hats and I costumed everything for that. But I did. Yeah.
Have you done it in a while, or is it something where you're like, I can still enjoy making stuff, or has it become like this is sort of not uncomfortable, but this isn't my favorite because I was sort of pigeonholed into it.
Yes, and I don't tell people I do it anymore because I don't want people to know because I don't want to get pigeonholed again. However,
we can edit this out if we
No. However, I have inherited my grandmother's like really nice sewing machine, and I am going to set it up and I'm going to learn how to like really sew because my costumes look really good from far away, but like up close.
My inside, like my seems like structurally it's sound, but like the inside, it's like I will line things if I need to, but the inside, it's generally like this is a car crash in here. But structurally, it sounded
great. Yeah.
Like the Monet of costume.
Yes, exactly. It's a full-on Monet. Absolutely.
Looks good on the outside.
Yeah.
Certainly looks great at a distance.
Yes.
But inside, it's like, should this have been? I'm like, it probably should have. And calm down. You're gonna wear it for a week.
Yeah.
Like it's
exactly. It's gonna hold up. But
hold up.
I want to get back into it for myself again. But yeah. But then the other Christmas Carol I did was actually, it was an immersive experience. So I for a while, and still technically I'm the producing artistic director for a company called Fanvergence.
I didn't know this.
Yes, we've taken a break because of the pandemic. And we're just kind of finding our ground again, because where are we now? Because we did events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the last thing we did was in Amelia Island, Dickens on Center. And we did a thing called Dickens After Dark. And we had Scrooge, we had the Ghost of Christmas Past, the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, and Marley. And then we also had Charles Dickens, and we had some other characters that were not, they were Dickensian, but they weren't specific to the Christmas Carol. But we were creating a Christmas Carol, but with the audience. So it was a really, really cool thing. We had Marley kind of stuck in purgatory, and he was just like writing, like, and people were kind of coming in and talking to him, and he was like trying to help them get out of whatever situation they were in. And Scrooge was talking to him, and Scrooge was talking to other people. And then Scrooge would go in, and the Ghost of Christmas Past would take him around to talk to people. And then I was the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. I didn't talk. It was awesome. And people didn't get it at first.
You were like, you've been Christmas caroled, bitch.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I don't know. I mean, those of you that can see it, but we can put it on.
Yeah,
put on social. I'll put some up on social. It was really cool.
What's the creepy thing behind you?
So,
it's great though.
We had lots of fog and whatever, and I had a veil on, and I had people bring me their regrets, and I would take them from them so they didn't have to carry them anymore, and they would give them to me, and then like so they could move on. It was a really cool thing. Yeah, it was really cool, and people like really had these beautiful moments. And then we'd have people dance, and they danced with Scrooge, and we still cathartic. It really was, and
a cathartic Christmas Carol.
Yeah, and we still told the story, but we told it with the people, and the whole idea was that the Ghost of Christmas Present were the attendees.
Are you still offering the service of taking regrets?
Yeah, sure. And then
just to Jen herself.
And then me myself. Absolutely. I will take it from you.
Jen's DMs.
Yes. Slide into my DMs with your regrets. I'll take them from you. I still have the power. And I'll put in my contacts, put on my wig, and I'll take them from you. But the next year was gonna be, and then the pandemic happened. We were gonna take kind of do a trunk show of A Christmas Carol. As like a dinner show. I started to write it, and then the pandemic happened, so we didn't finish it, but at some point I'm sure we will. So I know the Christmas Carol like the back of my hand.
You know who could have starred in that if they hadn't been convicted of murder? Would have been Rachel Buffet.
Absolutely. She really would have ate that roll up, you know?
A dinner show.
Do our listeners know Rachel Buffet yet? Have they been introduced?
She just
dropped.
It just dropped on Friday.
Part one. We're gonna get part two.
We've finished recording the whole season.
Yes.
We're just
we have. Yeah,
and
for our Patreon subscribers, they'll get it this coming Friday. Christmas show.
Yep. Yeah. Well, we're inserting this little our holiday,
our Christmas
special bonus here. It's not the content you asked for, but it's the content you're getting. So.
You're getting it. Sorry.
Do either of you have a either stage and or screen? Do you have a preferred version of a Christmas Carol story specifically. There's a lot of holiday movies.
Yeah.
But I feel that A Christmas Carol is certainly the one that has been done.
Yeah.
Or reimagined. To Jen's point, like, there's so many flavors of this story. Like I said, I was watching A Muppet Christmas Carol last night, and Rich was commenting. He's like, this he was giving feedback on Michael Caine's performance, which is great.
I love that version because Michael Caine takes it so seriously, and that's why it works.
It does. It totally does. But Rich was like in and out. We were like, I was in one room rapping and doing things and watching this film, and Rich was in and out because he was multitasking.
Yeah.
But he came in at one point, and it was like Michael Caine was in the midst of some dialogue, and he was like giving Michael Caine acting notes, and I was like, I'll go back to 1992 and let him know.
Yes, Michael Caine, let me give you some notes. But is he Dan Wozniak? Excuse me, Rich.
Well, no, it was out of context. It made sense because he's like, I don't feel like that was harsh enough. He's not mean enough. And I said, well, tonally, for the tone of this Christmas Carol, if he was too nasty or too strong, it doesn't match the tone of the Muppet Christmas Carol. So tonally, he's absolutely perfect. But if you were to stack him against like George C. Scott, it is a very different flavor of the story versus like, you have the Alistair Sim one, and then we've got like Scrooged, or now we have something like Spirited has entered the chat, which I feel still falls into the Christmas Carol canon.
It does. I think so.
I absolutely love Spirited. Just watched it last night. The first year I watched it, I had to watch it twice.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I think that
Good
is
afternoon.
Good afternoon. What did you say to me?
So good.
There's so many Easter eggs in that movie too.
I know.
It's great. It's so great. But that one,
Dame Judi Dench, just making it casual.
Oh my God. And they were like, and then when he is at the Christmas party and there's the guy dressed as Elf and he goes, you just look stupid.
So good.
But I love that. But I also, as a kid, loved Scrooge with Albert Finney.
Oh, sure.
That's the one where they sing.
Yes, Olivia.
Of course. Yep.
Yes, my favorite as well.
Absolutely love that one. So I remember specifically watching that with the whole family and my dad and mom and everything. So I loved that one. But Spirited has just I love it.
Jen, have you seen Scrooge with Albert Finney from 1970? Okay. I'm with Olivia. I love this one. This one, Spirited, absolutely yes.
Yes.
But Scrooge may remain one of my favorites of the traditional Dickensian depiction of a Christmas Carol. Mm-hmm. I think it is a confluence of factors. I think it is the fact that it is a musical. Mm-hmm. It's a good.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that number. I had this in my notes. I want to talk about this number.
Let's do it.
And I was like, I don't want to make it political, but I want to talk about this number.
Let's do it.
Okay.
It's very interesting in, again, the year of our Lord, 2024, as some kids are saying, like a late stage capitalism. Uh-huh. And it's fascinating because this song, I'll have to look it up. I didn't have time to research it. But this song, thank you very much, has been used out of context in commercials and for marketing purposes. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was like insurance or it was for like phone service. It was something. Yeah. Within the last decade, this was used in a commercial. And I was like, oh, someone did not look up the context.
Do their research.
Because they were using it as, oh, this is a nice song about like saying thank you. And I was like, oh, sweetie, no. This song, spoiler alert, listeners, for this, 50-year-old movie.
Yeah.
This song, Thank You Very Much, takes place. The ghost of Christmas Yet to Come has entered the picture. And Scrooge he's in the street and he's outside his home and he sees all these people, like the whole town is gathered outside his home. And the way they shoot it is brilliant because like Albert Finney, who is playing Scrooge, keeps like sort of turning away at just like the perfect moment so he doesn't see the full picture of what is happening and why people are celebrating. People are celebrating and thanking him, Ebenezer Scrooge, for dying. And they carry, because he was such a piece of shit, they carry out his coffin in a full-ass parade, singing and dancing through the street that he's dead. And they're being like, thank you very much for dying. subtext, you motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like their debts are gone. They're taking his valuables.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yep.
And so he's like, oh, I've caused all this joy and celebration. What have I done to make people so happy? And then the spirit reveals that it's because he's dead. And he like points him to the grave. And I'm like, oh, and it's so searing, but it's also such an effective use of also like musical theater and like of a song. Like there's a lot of great songs in that film. Yeah. Like the fuzzy wig sequence is like totally amazing and genius. But I think that version to me, because of that scene in particular, I think because as the audience you're watching it and you're celebrating, you're enjoying, you're like, oh, this is really fun. But then also it's like a oh shit like moment that I think when I first saw it like as a child on TV, I didn't fully get it, and as an adult I'm like, man, this is
it's the exact way that, musical theater, you're supposed to burst into song because you have so much emotion that you can't just say it, right? Yeah. That's the whole point of why you're bursting into song, and that's the perfect reason for it.
Yeah. And I think it's also it's interesting. I don't know. It's unsurprisingly, I like also some of the Christmas carols, and the Albert Finney one I think does a good job of the dark and the gritty, but then they temper it with the music, which I think is what kind of strikes that perfect note for me, because it is a pretty gritty Christmas carol. It is. But the one, I think it includes a scene, and it's, if you've seen, so I have it on DVD because I'm me. But the version I had growing up, I had on VHS tape that had been recorded off of television.
Yes.
And when they showed it on television in the 90s, they had cut it for time and to fit with commercials and fit in a certain spot. So they had cut certain things for time, but they cut the end sequence, which, spoiler alert, he goes to hell in that version. It's the only version where they show him in hell.
Very scary. Mm-hmm.
And they also cut, I believe, the sequence with the Ghost of Christmas Present, which is in the George C. Scott version, where he meets ignorance and want, the boy and the girl.
Yes, we cut that all the time.
All the time, and
they cut that all the time. I know,
and I don't know why, because it's so good, and it's interesting because I think, especially in the last, I don't know, at least since the 80s, I feel like it really does make sense culturally to include.
Yes.
I can see why it's cut, or it's like, Muppet Christmas Carol. Okay, sure, you're not going to include this scene.
Right.
But the dialogue is so good, and that line the spirit has, I found it because I have to quote it exactly. He says, Scrooge says, "Are they yours?" And the spirit says, "They are man's. The boy is ignorance, and the girl is want. Beware them both, but most of all, beware the boy, because on his forehead is written the word doom." And I'm like, it's
oh, you just gave me chills reading that line.
But it does, and it holds up. And again, not to bring down the vibe, but I'm just like, Christmas or any other thing, to that reminder again, through theater, through storytelling, through musicals, however you want to couch it, but this important reminder of taking it back to our talk about librarians, what does it mean to be educated or informed, and to not just be sort of wafting, through the world, but to just hey, it's stop and evaluate, what am I doing? Or should I be using my resources or my knowledge or my skills to maybe help somebody, or should I just be la 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 and it burns around me? I don't know.
Also, it points to the truth of what's really going on around you.
Right.
Sure.
As whether it's willful ignorance or following the flock, shall we say, of the emperor's new clothes. The whole town is like, oh, look at his clothes, isn't he wonderful? They're all full of ignorance. And they don't see the fact that he's completely naked, a tyrant, and we just elected him president again.
Right.
Oh, what? different but same. It's interesting though, Olivia, and you make a good point with the word again. Was A Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens, the original, the novella, I believe. It's short. The story is actually short.
Very short.
It was written in 1843. It was published that same year. And here we are, essentially more than 150 50 years on, and like those themes or those, I'll say like his point, like the overall structure, it's like this is still true. Like this is still
100%.
the same. Like we're still grappling with these ideas, and I think that's why like A Christmas Carol in particular, you know, to be cliche, like it holds up.
It does. No, it does.
Like we're still unpacking this. We're still working through this, you know, through our 2024 lens, which is why I think Spirited is so great.
Yes.
Yeah, and the role of Ryan Reynolds' character, his big crime is he disseminates misinformation.
Yeah.
And he riles up the public on social media. That's what he's paid to do.
Yeah.
And so he is profiting from ignorance and want.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and you know, part of it too is I don't even know how to quite say this. You know, entertainment can be both.
Yes.
You can enjoy something and learn something at the same time. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yes.
And the reason people are still watching it and it's still so relevant and people aren't learning is because they're not paying attention.
They're ignorant to it.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, sometimes maybe you also have to be in a place to receive the information because there are, and I think this is also what's great about, you know, theater and shows and something like A Christmas Carol that we keep going back to over and over, and you know, put a different lens on it, put a different flavor on it, you know, make it for a different audience, you know, give it a different context, do it for TV, do it for stage, what have you. But I think it's interesting because it's saying that this is important. This is an important story to keep revisiting, but it's like maybe this is the time it will go in.
Maybe this is the time it'll sink in. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the time you're actually going to hear it. And it's like you've heard it a million times, but it's fine. Like something's going to click. You're going to be just in the right headspace, or you're going to be in the right frame of mind. Because even something like I was watching this last night, and I'm watching, you know, The Muppets, a very lighthearted version of this. But I was thinking about, you know, just even the character of Scrooge. He's not a young man. Like Scrooge isn't, and they show like you know, he's sort of gone through his life this way, but it takes like this season, this time, this year, and of him sort of being like broken down by the spirits, albeit, but sort of being broken down and getting to the point where by the time the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come arrives, he's like, I'm ready. Yeah. I'm not the man I was. Like, I'm ready to do it differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how many people came to him, or like, you know, he had probably opportunities or experiences like to like do the right thing, or to see like, you know, the suffering in front of him, you know, from like Bob Cratchit even. But it was like he finally saw it. It was like he had to be ready. He had to be ready to be like, okay, I'm ready to receive this now because whatever I've been doing, like, it's not working for me or whatever. So I think it's like, you're right, Olivia, that, you know, it's like, man, do we still have to tell the story? And
we
like,
do.
The answer is yes, we do.
Absolutely do.
Since 1843, we do.
Well, and you know, the version that I really love, have you guys seen the one that FX did a few years ago?
Yeah, with
with Guy Pearce.
Very dark.
Really dark one. I love that one.
Yeah.
It's really, really dark, but I love it.
Good, though. Really good.
And one of the reasons I like it so much is because Scrooge isn't that old.
No,
he's older.
Right.
That's true.
But he's, you know, he's an older guy. He's like in his 50s. Yeah. Like that's kind of.
But he's not like senior citizen
Scrooge. Right. He's not, you know, and I like that because it's like maybe he wasn't, you know. Yeah. And it was just a different way to tell the story, and it's so dark and it's so realistic in a lot of different ways.
Yes.
And scary in a lot of different ways. That I wonder if that got to people. That's one of my favorites.
I agree. I think that's on the flip side, not on the dark side, but on the comedic side. But I think that's also how people feel about Scrooged. Yeah. Especially in the 80s, because it came out in 88. And I think sort of like what Spirited has done for our time frame, I feel like Scrooged did for the 80s.
I agree.
And in Scrooged as well. he ends up in the flames for the Ghost of Christmas Present.
Yeah, he absolutely does. He's in the flames. Yeah, he's in the coffin. Yeah.
The Ghost of Christmas.
Oh.
Is it yet to come or yet to be, or is it both?
It's both. It depends on it's future, it's yet to be, or yet to come. Whichever version whatever version you're looking at. Yeah.
I do like the as far as musicals go, because there's not enough of them, but I do enjoy also the Alan Menken, our Lord and Savior, his Christmas Carol, which it was on, I think, like Broadway seasonally, and then they filmed it in, I don't know what year, like 2004. Like it's like a made for TV, like did it all on sound stages, starring Kelsey Grammer.
I forgot about that one.
Me too, but I knew that he played Scrooge, and I forgot about it.
And I didn't see it, but I
love Kelsey Grammer.
It's not streaming anywhere, as far as I know, which is a crime. But
it is a crime.
I own it on DVD because I'm an elder millennial. But I do own this. But you can listen to it. I think they did a cast recording for it. But it's great because
Kelsey Grammer would be a great Scrooge.
Yeah,
he was. I can attest. It's also got. It has like people who were essentially Broadway stars, basically of the early 2000s. So like Jason Alexander is in there, and what's her name, Leslie. Oh my God, I'm blanking on her last name. But
Leslie Mann.
No,
that's
not Leslie. Jane Krakowski.
Oh,
love
Jane
her. Yes.
Krakowski. But a whole bunch of people who you would immediately recognize. And just actors of Broadway actors specifically from that era, and you're like, oh look, it's so and so. They've got I'll get her last name wrong, Ruthie Huskell, like one of the original Fontaines from Les Mis, plays Ebenezer Scrooge's mother, because they go back to like
way back.
And they show a scene with like his father essentially being sent to prison for like
debtor's prison.
Yeah, like debtor's jail. And his mother has there's this beautiful song. It's my favorite song, maybe in like the Christmas Carol canon, because I'm like, Scrooge didn't have quite as good of a banger as this one, but there's a song called God Bless Us Everyone.
Aww.
And again, like Alan Menken, my God, but they use it as a theme throughout. So they sort of like use it in Act 1, and I won't spoil it, but how they do it for the finale, how they bring the song back, but they change the lyrics. And I'm just like just tears, ugly cry. It's so good. The Menken Christmas Carol, 2004, for TV. I want to say it was on Broadway in like 98. It was like late 90s.
I have to say this, and that's nothing to do with the Christmas Carol, but does have to do with the Christmas movie, because I noticed this the other day, and it blew my mind. You guys have seen The Holiday, right? I know Olivia just watched it for the first time.
How did this happen?
I know.
2006.
It was kind of silly, and then I was last week. I was
she was texting me.
And watching it, I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!"
Olivia, it's glorious. It holds up well.
Yeah,
it does. I love it.
Adult Christmas movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the moment when Jack Black is breaking up with, you don't know it yet, but he's breaking up with that girl.
Yes.
And he's sitting there, and she's talking. I'm sorry, Miles. Haven't you ever made a mistake? Right?
Yeah.
The
I think
song,
someone else accidentally.
Yeah, right. The song that's playing is Iris's theme, so it's the theme that he wrote. Yes, and if you watch closely, when it zooms out, he's playing the theme on the couch. So he's not thinking about Maggie, he's thinking about Iris, and it's beautiful. And I just picked it up, and I've seen that movie a million times, and I just watched it the other day, and I went, because I was like, oh my God, he's playing the notes. Holy shit. I've seen it like a million times.
Jen, thank you for pointing this out.
You're welcome.
I've never noticed this. And
now everybody knows.
Rewatching immediately.
Jack Black. Brilliant.
The leading man we didn't know we needed, but my
God, we all needed him. He's so good. They're all good.
Also want to give an honorable shout out. An honorable shout out.
Mr. Napkin Head?
An honorable mention. Oh, Napkin Head is
Mr.
adorable.
Napkin Head.
No.
Napkin Head.
Honorable mention to Sir Patrick Stewart, who I think
yes, absolutely. He's my favorite, normal one.
Yeah.
It isn't the really dark one. My normal Scrooge would be Sir Patrick Stewart.
He's just one. I just had to mention him.
Yeah, you have to.
Store brand Scrooge.
Store brand Scrooge.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick Stewart. You know, I think that what we've covered today is we've made some important distinctions. Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Olivia and I had our first fight.
We had our first fight, and I think we're okay. I think we're
okay. I think we got through it.
We learned that a drive-through crucifixion is in fact a thing.
We learned about a drive-through crucifixion. We learned that you cannot have a Christmas movie without minimum trespassing, usually kidnapping.
Yeah.
Also kidnapping. Yep.
And I think we all agree that the Albert Finney Scrooge, barring the new Spirited, is the best.
Yeah.
As a package, and especially of the again asterisk of the Dickensian traditional representation.
Yes,
Albert Finney 1970s Scrooge is our pick for our preferred.
And if you haven't seen Spirited, for God's sake,
Apple
good
TV.
Afternoon. That's what I say to you. I have not seen it.
Good afternoon.
You've been Christmas Carol, bitch.
Friends, this was spectacular, and it was frankly everything I hoped our
me too.
our first Christmas special would be. So this is just a delight. But Jen, where can the people find us if they haven't found us already?
If you haven't found us already, you can find us on Facebook at Life Upon the Wicked Stage, and you can find us on Instagram at Wicked Stage Pod. You can also find us on Patreon at Life Upon the Wicked Stage, which you're going to want to do so you can see all of our videos and so you can get early drops of our two-parters, which we have one dropping this week, and our final episode is also a two-parter.
I would also like to add, as an incentive for Patreon, never has there ever been a better time to treat yourself on our Patreon, because where we are right now in the midst of our two-parter about Dan Wozniak, the thumb of community theater.
Oh, man.
Dan Wozniak, right?
Dan Wozniak. Sorry, what did I just say?
I think you said Tim.
Oh, Dan. Yes, definitely Dan, not a Tim.
A thumb, but not a Tim.
A thumb, but not a Tim. Dan, I was looking in our like dashboard, the number of cut for time but outtakes that are gold that are on the Patreon for this recording in particular, worth joining the Patreon for this. I shared a little tease on our Instagram about our hot take about the Oklahoma Dream Ballet, which has somehow gotten like more views than anything we've posted in a while. So if you want more of that content, that's all on the Patreon, and there are various levels that you can join at, but
and I also want to say we're all getting together very soon to do our first boozy brunch.
Yes, it'll be an in-person, like we'll all be in the same room.
Yes. Which will be great. Watch out, world. And we're going to do the first one probably on Facebook or something. So it's going to be for everyone. But after that, it's only going to be for our Patreon upper tiers. So we just want to kind of, tease it so you see what you're going to get and you're going to want to join. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. See what happens when we're all in the same room together with mimosa.
With mimosas, because I've already finished mine.
I'll actually be drinking that day. So
you better be. She will. We'll make her.
Perfect. Well, this was lovely, friends.
It was.
Perfect. Well, this was lovely. Very Merry Christmas. And and again, everyone have a safe and films that we have mentioned.
Yes, please.
Maybe you're going to watch them with a fresh lens.
Thanks for joining us for a very special Christmas episode. Da, 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 da.
Happy holidays. FLOOZIES.
And scene.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Wicked Stage Pod.
Follow us on Instagram and check out our Patreon for more exclusive content.
These deliciously wicked episodes drop every other Friday, so make sure you subscribe or follow and don't get left waiting in the wings.